1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon. Oh,
I won't guarantee they won't get relegated, but if someone, I mean, who could we think of? I mean, there are managers we know who are pretty good at keeping a team up, but whether they will go for the likes of Sam Allardyce or one of that kind of level of manager, I don't know. I tell you what I think will happen, and you heard it here first, and I think they will sack Tudor, and I wish him well for all sorts of reasons. And I think they'll bring back Harry Redknapp, who I think is not far off of 80, 79, 80, 78, I don't know. But anyway, I think they'll bring him back because of his past connections with the club. He's a good football man, he knows his football, and I think the players would respond to him, and I think he'll keep them safe. Now, I've got no reason why I think that might happen. We've all heard a few rumours, but nothing concrete. But I wouldn't be surprised, put it that way, if Harry Redknapp is brought back to save Spurs' season. That's my view.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking about that, what you just said about Harry Redknapp. I thought he's retired from everything active football.
He is, yeah.
So then bringing somebody that's retired back into the game, he might not help. But I have respect. I have deep respect for Harry Redknapp when it comes to football. Anyway, I think he was a good manager. He was a good sportsman. So yeah, it'd be good to see him back. I hope you're right.
Yeah, we talked earlier on our other podcast about hand signs, and we know what that one means. That means money, doesn't it? And I think, not just because it's Harry Redknapp, but I think even if someone's retired from football, if you give them the incentive of money for a few months, then he'll jump to come back. But I think he would anyway. I think he's in love with the game quite clearly. Yes, he's retired, but unless there's family issues which might preclude him from coming back, I think he will come back if they want him. And I think he would save them, because I think he's one of those guys who will give the team that manager's bump, whereby they think, wow, this is the guy, he's legendary in football in this country, really, and with Spurs. He did a lot of good things there. And I think, he's football through and through. I think they would respond to him. And if I were in a position of ownership of the club, that's what I would be doing. I think I would not want to risk keeping this present manager, although I don't think he's been given much of a chance, but I wouldn't want to risk being dragged down to the Championship. You never know how long it's going to take to come back. You lose a lot of your best players and so on. So I think in a way they may think they've got no choice. And if they do, I think they will go for Redknapp, assuming he's prepared to come back. You never know what issues there might be in his family, health-wise and stuff like that. But I think that's what will happen, and I think he will save them. I don't want to predict who will go down. I don't want West Ham to go down. I've always liked West Ham. I don't really like seeing any team relegated, because I know what it feels like as a fan. When Palace went down in 2005, it took 8 years to come back to the top league. And it sort of drains you for a few months if you're committed to and passionate about your football team. So I don't want any of them to go down. But Forest did well the other day. They beat West Ham, didn't they? So they kind of giving themselves breathing space. Leeds drew with us at Palace 0-0, I think, a couple of weeks ago. So they're sort of drawing themselves to safety, Leeds. I just have a feeling they will be safe. So I don't know. Spurs could be the victims, West Ham could be, or Forest could be. I don't want to predict any more than that.
say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, three beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.
Any more than that, really?
Yeah. I was just thinking, is it not too late for Tottenham to start doing anything? Because they're already in that bottom already. They there, and I think they've got 29. They level on points with Forest, I think, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
But then it's got a game in hand, so they could go above. So well, you never know, do you? Now, talking about managers coming out of retirement, like the theory of Harry Redknapp. There's one on Klopp, Jurgen Klopp. So he says, So here's Jurgen Klopp saying, since I left Liverpool, I didn't even know when the matches were being played. I've been completely out of touch with the games. I was exercising, enjoying life and spending time with my grandchildren, knowing that I would not be returning to work as a coach. I am now 58 years old. If I decide to return at the age of 65, everyone will remind me that I previously said I would not return. Okay, I'll tell them I meant it 100% at the time, but honestly, I don't miss training. It's a bit of a mixed message there, isn't it? Is that clear to you, what he was trying to say?
Yeah, I mean, in fact, he's signed up to be a television pundit, hasn't he, for the World Cup? I read that yesterday, and they mentioned 2 former players as well who will be joining him. I don't know whether they were from this country, but yes, he's working with, it's not Sky, but it's another TV company throughout the World Cup. So he's certainly got that job. I mean, that's been quite heavily mentioned in the last 24 hours. So yeah, he's not breaking his comment about returning to management. And I suspect that for most people, most ex-managers or ex-players, once they get into the television punditry thing, or commenting on games, and I think he's going to have quite a senior part in this World Cup on the TV, then I can imagine them not really wanting to go back to the rigours of football. Now, I can imagine from a manager's point of view, if there is a worse part of the job, it probably is the training. Now, their coaches, by and large, do the actual training with the players, but the manager will oversee as the head coach, as the manager, with his ideas and what he wants to happen. So the coaches are, they're answerable to the manager. So they've got to carry out his instructions. But I could still see that in the course of the working week for footballers, they probably train, most of them, 4 days a week, and not for that long. I mean, it used to be for like 2 or 3 hours a day.
Three beautiful ladies who join us on our shows.